for time. Oh, shoot, guys, remind me to do the thing after this game. Because I have a Fog of War hotkey I've got to enable. Otherwise, I have to click it. But since I'm starting this game at the proper time, I'm going to start game 2 the way I wanted to start game number 1 and just say thanks to everyone who's been involved in King of the Desert. The viewers. Can't forget about the viewers. I don't think Microsoft and Pinstack and these companies would have wanted to sponsor King of the Desert if it wasn't for the viewers. I don't think Memb would have wanted to organize this and put all the work he did in behind the scenes for this if it wasn't for the viewers. And then also, Krazzini and his work on the maps would not have happened if it wasn't for the viewers. So really, you guys sponsored this prize pool. Because if it wasn't for viewers, this wouldn't happen. That's one way you could spin it. Or you could just say thanks to all the names I just mentioned. MBL needs to recover after losing the first game. And he's Celts. What has MBL's style been in this tournament, guys? Wall early, boom, and punish. He's now Celts. A Civ known for their Drush FC. A Civ known for making it messy. Known for Huanging. MBL once told me, T90, of all the players I wish to be when I grow up, I want to be Huang. You can check that with him after the semifinal. But anyways, it's just typical MBL, right? Now, you don't have to go full wall with Celts. It is common. But MBL is going to have a tough time with it on this map. The gold here's forward. This gold's forward. Even this gold. I'd say that's worse way out there on the left-hand side. So if MBL's thinking fast castle on walls on this map gen, he's going to have to think again. And I think maybe going with some man-at-arms and spearmen would be a wise move against the Franks. Now, I've been able to see quite a few sets with Villese now. We had his group stage set against Tato. We had his quarterfinal set against Doubt. I think I also was able to cast a round of 32, a round of 64 set with Villese. And a lot of players are doing it, as they should. But you know, it's a lot of Malians and Franks in his Civ drafts. And he got the win with Malians. No problem, game number 1. So here, though, he might be adapting a bit. You see how he has 4 on wood?
Okay.
The norm for going Franks is to go 3 on wood and go 20 pop scouts. I think he's gone 4 on wood because he's expecting a pre-mill drush from MBL. And you see the barracks from MBL, and you also see the barracks for Villese.
Okay.
So Villese thinking, okay, well, those militia are really tough to deal with. It's still going to be tough to deal with, right? Because Celt militia are so fast. Let's make my own militia, and let's change the meta a little bit for Franks. So instead of just allowing the Celt player to do what they want to do, he's going to react to it. And this is part of, I think this is part of the Celt civilization being a little bit predictable. But here's what's silly about trying to do this against Celts. Like, it sounds like a good idea to make some defensive militia. But the Celt militia are faster in Dark Age, so the Celt player still decides whether he or she wants to take the fight. MBL will bring in his elephant now. I'll check his scouting. He's pretty well aware of how crazy his map is as the militia come forward. I'd be very surprised if MBL tries to turn this into Drush Fast Castle. It's just too risky. The map's too open. I think both players are going to want to get to feudal here. Now, did Villese scout that barracks? Villese didn't scout the barracks from MBL. Expects it, but I think is more so looking for the militia more than anything right now. MBL spotted this wood line. It's the only thing he spotted. He knows the wood line's there. And Villese, quick walls. What the?
Kia.
Villese noticed it and immediately reacted. That was some next level speed right there. And actually needs to change the quick walls so the villagers can drop off the wood. That was so well played. And Villese actually having the confidence to go forward with the militia. Like I said, normally you stay at home defensively with it and Celts have a field day, running arounds and arounds and arounds. The ideal scenario is you wall it out and then you can get some counter damage in. MBL doesn't have loom. MBL did not scout the barracks. He will probably assume that since Villese has loom and Villese is, you know, like all he's seen is a lumber camp, that Villese is going scouts. And now MBL loses the villager just like that, just melted over there on the berries. And will he lose another one? He's going to lose 2. Oh my God. He's lost 2 villagers on... That's huge. all due to the lack of scouting and the surprise from Villese. And now Villese saves this villager. This villager on 2 HP is now at a farm. That all comes down to the lack of scouting, guys. MBL was very excited to do some damage, as he should be with Celts. Didn't scout it properly. And also comes down to the excellent strategy and excellent foresight from Villese. So he's up 2 villagers. What's the follow-up going to be? Because I think MBL, if he can just get the food for it, which is tough right now, because he's not on berries, I think MBL is going to want to go feudal. I think the correct move in MBL's position would be to go feudal behind this ASAP. But while he has 100 food, it's really tough for him to do that right now because he can't comfortably take the berries due to the drush. Wow, what a start to the day. Seriously. Neither player up yet. Based on the build, I think MBL wanted to, and instead he's had to go for farms because he was off of berries. And man, what a successful drush there. Successful drush for MBL. Like, this is a normal drush success just to take players off of berries. But we'll see what happens. Now, I'm curious if that mill's going to go down. Like, Villese is having the same problem. He also has to rely on Dark Age farms. Both players trying to wall out the militia. MBL also didn't have the goats. I just realized that. Yeah, that was not the best scouting at home either. Good quick ball there from MBL. And he's... Okay, MBL's going to up way faster. So if there's ever a way to swing being behind, going for the faster feudal, as I think MBL gets some reward. It gets a Vil pick himself, finally. Going for the faster feudal into something like Man-at-Arms here would be a quality decision. Also, good micro from MBL. There's been some redemption for him the last 30 to 40 seconds. He saves that weak Vil. And look, he's making more militia. And he's going to turn that into Man-at-Arms. And after feeling like Villese's start was so much better, he has 31 Vils in Dark Age. He still hasn't clicked up. So he's just now on the way up. MBL's going to have so much time to do damage. Right. It was a quality little base trade there, wasn't it? And now we talk about the scouting. Will Villese scout that MBL's sending more militia forward? Also, it'd be a very MBL thing to do to come forward and tower. And they're relying on walls, getting towers up behind the wood lines, on the farms, on the gold. Oh, mistake from Villese! Every mistake is punished, whether it's lack of Dark Age scouting or one palisade wall missing. Also, this is about to be a feudal age scout, and MBL could get another Vil pick! Because that scout's going to have extra attack, and it'd be just like MBL to get in front and block. Can he do it? He's blocking? Wow. What a weird game, man. So many villagers dead. Oh, man. This is very poor micro from MBL. As there's weak ones in there, he didn't focus it down. But I guess as he gets through here and the Man-at-Arms upgrade is in, MBL will like his position once again. Really tough for me to know. Oh, another villager died over here. Wow, MBL's going to have the Vil lead now. MBL will have 4 militia here. Okay, now Man-at-Arms, one's weak. And then back at home, yeah, I don't think MBL will take any more losses to this drush as he adds a range. But man, is that another Vil dying? He has to delete the mill! No! Holy cow! So many dead Vils! More villagers have died in Dark Age and Feudal Age in this game than low Evil Legend players lose villagers to boars. And if you ask the people hanging out here watching how many villagers that is, it's a lot, alright? Some people don't even lure the boars. They're scared of them on Tuesdays. So, as MBL maybe getting overconfident there and wants that Vil snipe, MBL in a fantastic spot. I mean, opening up Feudal Age with Man-at-Arms and then having the strong follow-up with Archer's Spearman is so important. Because now at this point, Villese, he's adding his own range to make archers. But he's already down 1 or 2 archers. And still doesn't have an answer to the Man-at-Arms. So from a disastrous start, to a wonderful position. Not every day you see this, and finally MBL loses that scout. Unfortunate for MBL, the Lions getting involved here. That weakens that archer, and it looks like the man-at-arms. I mean, they're engaging against spearmen, but like the infantry in general is just going to be... We're going to see a lot less of it from here on out. Economically, MBL does have more villagers. He's choosing to tower that gold, which I think is a good move. He is back on his berries. Villese is not. And it is Celt wood chopping against normal wood chopping. So I prefer Celts in the mid game, but Franks do have that farm bonus, of course. How many? Did MBO just get housed? Of course he did. Well, it was a messy game, so I think here is a bit understandable. But, guys, how many farms did Villese have to make in Dark Age? Like 6? You're not taking advantage of the Frank farm bonus if you're making 6 or 7 farms in Dark Age. Certainly from here on out he will, but it's less than ideal. How does MBL not just panic resign there? I would have. Is it nerves of steel? Well, I mean, there's... Even though MBL is not the most confident player, it's game sense and also self-confidence to realize your Celts. If you up a bit faster, you can always swing it right back into your control. So it's... All participants in this tournament, all the top players have played for years of their life. And probably, like, mainly Age of Empires is their game. And they also have the tenacity. I call MBL the cockroach, right? Because he always has it in him to try and come back. He added more men-at-arms. Perhaps thinking Villese would go for defensive skirms. And Villese is on defensive skirmishers. And we'll see if MBL breaks through. As we have a very awkward yet sneaky counterattack for Villese on this side. House walls from Villese. It could be great for Villese if he's able to hold this. It's not going to do too much for MBL to have the archers behind here. Because the skirms can just focus down the archers. So MBL has to back away. And this is MBL's point of view. And I think as he gets housed again... Oh my god. Well, if you're an MBL fan, you're probably used to seeing him get housed. But I think if it's game 2 and he's already down a game and he's getting pop capped in these situations, he's not going to be... It's not going to be too good for MBL fans seeing that. Because sometimes he gets housed a lot. But yeah, he is in a way to Castle Age. He did have the army here patrolling, almost expecting some type of a counter. He's got the tower on the gold. And Villese is about to click up himself. Now, composition-wise, what happens from here? Because does MBL want to make more archers when there's already skirms out for Villese? I think the answer is yes. I think you do continue to make archers because you're almost expecting the Frank player to go into knights. Villese has his skirms out of position. He only has 3 as well. Now he's going for a tower, and that's huge for MBL because at the very least, Villese can't get that TC up in the next stage, which will put them in the same positions economically. Oh, and MBL just passing. Very awkward just passing at that because there's a TC and tower on either side for the infantry, but MBL's like, who cares? My 3 weak archers can still do damage. And they will take Villese off of berries again. Honestly, Villese, just never take the berries, okay? It's too risky. Your people are not going to survive if you take the berries. Just abandon it. Now, realistically, he should clean this up. A nice little engagement for both players. 15 kills to 17. Guys, is this not what you expected when you saw Villese versus MBL today? Did you not expect a messy one? I have a feeling that Leary Yo is going to be a whole lot cleaner based on player styles. But anytime MBL is in a game on open maps, he makes it messy and he thrives in those environments. So we say MBL shouldn't get housed this frequently. We say MBL should do a few things better. But would MBL be MBL if it was clean all the time? No, I don't think so. He does still have a few ranged units. He's adding the Siege Workshop, and that's something Villese does not see, but maybe expects. Villese, 2 stables. Now, I don't love Forward Siege against, like, just Siege Knight. I don't love against enemy Knights. But if you go Siege Monk Knight, it's a bit different. The reason I don't like just Siege, and Huang might disagree, but then again, Huang normally adds monks. If MBL doesn't have the military numbers to protect the siege,
Kia.
the knights are going to run in there and kill that. We do see Villese react with a defensive siege workshop, and Villese is about to lose some villagers here. So there's that. MBL with... He's extending his eco lead and taking Villese off of gold. That's more than worth it so far. Villese actually has to scramble down the market. Maybe to sell some resources to get some gold. I feel like the tower placement was never ideal. It's not something he was planning on doing, and oh boy. Alright, I think this is going to start to get out of control here. Yes, MBL needs a bit of time before this build works. But he's already ahead, and he's just going to squeak on by, say thank you very much, and snipe whatever villagers he can. So he's gaining more of a Vill lead. Oh, the knights are the knights blocked the woman! Well, that sucks. 38 villagers now for Villese. And yeah, MBL now it's like, okay, let's just keep him off of gold. The longer he's off gold, the longer he can't make siege, the longer he can't make knights. Villese does have a Mangonel on the way, and MBL's repairing the Mangonel at the perfect time. Rip to the tower. I don't know if we'll see Kelt eat TC here as Huang would do, but I think we're going to see Kelt eat Villese. And Kelts have had such an exceptional win rate in this tournament. MBL looking so good. He gets attack rounds, but now he'll lose one Mangonel. And yeah, that'll be the end of it. Kills the Knights in the end. He takes Villese off the gold in the end. There's more villagers that will die here. And it is the end of the game. Ugh. Like, I'm not sure if it's because I just woke up or because the game was super messy. But my god, dude, that was like 5 or 6 villagers dead in Dark Age. Both players off of berries. You do not see that every day. And I think even if Villese was in a more even position there, in terms of overall Vill count, he wouldn't have had the Vills where he wanted them. And this comes back to maybe the Kelt wood bonus, bailing MBL out, because he chopped more wood to get a few more farms up in Dark Age. That, or he was on berries a bit more at that time, made it to feudal faster, and found some reward, and we're all tied up. Hasn't been the cleanest series so far, that's for damn sure. But the series, the series that we expected, I think, with it being very close so far. 38 kills versus 32. An MBL with more food, wood, stone, and gold collected. So yeah, the extra villagers definitely paid off. I'm trying to look. Is it visible on the timeline? I guess you can kind of see it. But that swing was crazy. Villese takes the 2 Vill lead. And then falls behind by 2 or 3 here after MBL's fast feudal. Just could not respond to Kelts fast enough. Thank you, chat. I will do the thing. Thank you for the reminder. For game number 3. Yeah, casting without the Fog of War hotkey is just a completely different ball game for me, and it's tough. So I just enabled that. We'll reopen the game and we'll hop into game 3. MBL is chaotic evil. I don't know about evil. Evil might be a little bit harsh. I suppose if you're facing up against MBL, you might think it's evil because he's the enemy, but are the games live? They are. And also vids, welcome. It says hi T90. Chaotic is the best word to describe MBL. I would agree with you on that. Not sure about the evil one. We might see chaotic eagle if there's Mesosiv, says Emmy. Spot on. Hey Dirt, thank you for the 1,000 bits. He says thanks for your content. Your knowledge is greatly appreciated. Love you. Well, I'm gonna try and improve things here going onwards because I haven't. It's early. I'm just getting warmed up. We had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to try and improve things and be in a better spot for the next couple games. So if you've been enjoying it so far, awesome. And thank you guys for showing up. So MBL loses game number 1 with really passive play. He then is more aggressive in game number 2 and gets the win. Could have had a lot to do with the civs. Probably had a lot to do with the map as well. All right. Nowadays, Hera is more chaotic than MBL. I disagree with you on that. I think Hera is more defensive in many ways. Likes to get the walls up. Likes to play very clean. I wouldn't say chaos is really the word to describe someone like Hera. Hera is not a name that we'll be saying for the rest of King of the Desert. And it's the same with the Viper, which is wild. Both Viper and Hera not making it to the semifinals. Really tough side of the bracket, of course. Red Mita, thank you very much for the new sub. Thank you, Van Joel, for the 5. I saw Dutch Class in chat. I know life's been busy, as it is for everyone. He was in chat before the stream even started today. Tom, appreciate it. Neck AoE says Villese, the true underdog story. Well, I think even if he loses here today, he will have had a successful tournament. But if he wins, can you imagine? All right, quick test here. Yep, Fog of War is working. Okay, we'll have top tier casting from here on out. And guys, another Siege Knight civilization in King of the Desert. When King of the Desert came out, or was coming, I played practice games with Daniel, and we were just talking through like what civilizations we felt would be very good, and we felt like Slavs would go up a few tiers. Slavs with their fast farms, Slavs with their cheap siege, Slavs with their knights. In the mid game, Slavs can be insane, and I'm actually going to compare Ethiopians a bit to Britons here. They're on the slower side, but they do have great archers. If they don't have control of the game, particularly in the beginning of each age, what happens is they react. So you never want to be in a situation where you're reacting with a slower civ, because then you chase over here, the knights run away, then you chase. So think early feudal, what type of damage can Ethiopians do? Think early castle, what type of damage can Ethiopians do? And then it's all about like the middle of the ages for the Slavs, especially, particularly once the farms come up, so mid-castle age. Now, we call MBL lamer. He is a lamer. He likes to do it. It's kind of like his fun thing he's done in the past. But he doesn't lame boars and elephants a lot in tournaments. And he himself has said that he feels like he plays worse in tournaments if he lames. So Villese comes forward, and Villese, I think it would be a mistake to try and steal this elephant. But Villese is going to get away with a goat, and MBL right now is just pushed in an ostrich. Also another civ, where we could see an early barracks, and we could see militia. See MBL sending a villager out to gold. Will Villese see that? Villese will... Yes, will see that. And I like how Villese didn't attack the villager or anything. And MBL knew, but yeah, Villese is thinking, I don't want him to know that I know that he's going to build the barracks. I think he's waiting for it. I like the scouting from Villese, and he's doing the same thing. So MBL, he plays a certain style, and Villese has clearly practiced and adapted to it. Because he did not do this against Tato and Doubt. He did not go for the pre-mill barracks himself. But he's doing it because he feels like if he doesn't do it, MBL's going to have the control. But then again, he reacted to MBL in game 2 and didn't get the win. So I'm curious to see where this goes. Ethiopians get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold when they arrive to feudal age. And that also is when they arrive to other ages as well, I should say. So it can be devastating if you're able to get the militia out, get a fast feudal in, get those upgrades. Slavs don't really have that. Overall, Slav eco is better because of the farms, but no farms yet. MBL's scouting is already way better than the previous game. The reason he didn't have Loom was because he didn't scout the barracks. He scouted the barracks here and takes a bit of